Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this has been a true and welcome to Interrogation, You Will Be Deceived. So, do you remember LA Noire? Because you should. Really damn good important game. You drive around, you shoot the bad guys, you stare almost weirdly closely at various mundane items you find in people's houses, and then of course, the most important bit, to my mind, the highlight of the game, you interrogated people, tried to get to the truth of things, figured out whether they were lying to you, telling the truth, threw evidence in their face, tried to catch them in lies, diddly-diddly-dee. And that is, unsurprisingly perhaps, what Interrogation You Will Be Deceived is all about. It's basically an entire game built around interrogation, very similar to that in LA Noire, so, oh yes, I'm rather looking forward to this. And so we begin with Chief Anderson, who needs me to come in on a case because I am so damn good at interrogating people. Fisher's brought in a set of guys, they're in the interrogation rooms, and I may or may not be Mordecai, I don't know if that's me. We have the victim's husband, the only witness, and the robber that broke in. We need your questioning magic in there, a confession, because all we have is circumstantial evidence. Are you in? Oh, go on then. Right, I'm guessing I'm Mordecai over here. So, unlike in LA Noire, you don't actually get to go and investigate the crime scene yourself. Instead, all of that stuff is told to you before you start interrogating people. So, it's important to make sure you're paying really close attention to the briefings, because some of this information might be very useful indeed. So, individual named Cox broke in armed with a low caliber piece, holding this pizza nub and tying him to a chair. Fair enough. Wife comes in, jumps for the phone. Cox drops her with 2 shots before bolting. 2 shots in the back specifically. Do not forget that. We do have the gun, but no prints. Presumably he would know that because if there's no prints, he wore gloves, you know, specifically so there wouldn't be prints. So we may or may not be able to use that. This pizza was cool as a cucumber. His wife's body is just lying there in the other room. Managed to track down and also grab Cox. Street contacts helped. Ooh, apparently I'm just a big damn hero. Not only am I being brought in to assist with the questioning, because I'm so damn good at that, I just went out onto the street, spoke to my contacts, immediately grabbed the probably murderer. Right, I'm just the biggest badass super cop who ever lived. Okay, here we go in the interrogation room, and for the time being, time is paused, because the interrogation has not yet begun. Potentially, there will be time-sensitive interrogations going on, but until I order them to be brought in, the timer does not begin. So, that means I've got to read the case file. So, this is all the information where in LA Noire, you'd go out and get it yourself. Instead, here, it's inside this file. So, let's see what we've got going on here. Santa Monica Avenue. Right, I'm guessing we are actually in Los Angeles, so this game may or may not be unofficially related to LA Noire, given it's literally in LA. So, incident narrative as best as we can tell. Heather Peterson was murdered in the living room in front of her husband, Daryl Peterson. He was found tied to a chair in the same room. He claims a burglar broke in, armed with a low-caliber gun, threatened them, tied them up, and subsequently shot Miss Peterson as she tried to use her cell phone. Using the description provided and a tip from a local pawn shop, we managed to track down the burglar, one Jerry Munch Cox, and apprehend him. Ooh. Okay, if your surname is Cox, I'm gonna be honest, you really do not want the middle nickname Munch. That's just a terrible idea. The gun was found outside the building near the fire escape the thief used to enter and leave the premises. The evidence of the burglary is clear. We don't have a full picture of the murder, which Munch strongly denies committing. What complicates things is Mr. Daryl Peterson's attitude. The first detective on the scene described him as disturbingly serene. Our best hope of closing the case fast and clean is an admission of guilt. Munch and Peterson have both been held for questioning. You have been tasked with extracting a confession, because when the actual interview begins, they'll both be available. I'll be able to nip backwards and forwards, and potentially, information that one gives me will be useful in getting new answers out of the other. Still, let's see what else we've actually got here. So, why would he have done it? Let's start off with the husband, because I strongly suspect he did it. So, he's the sole witness of the murder and a key asset. He voluntarily agreed to be interviewed. Okay, that's a mark in favour of his innocence. If he was guilty, why would he volunteer to be interviewed? Peterson's reports so far have been accurate and led to the arrest of the burglar and main suspect, Jerry Munch Cox. However, the police officers of the first unit at the scene reported Peterson displaying unusual calm and composure. This is a suspicious degree of detachment for someone emerging from such a traumatic and stressful situation. This raises some concerns, yet he does have a clean record. There is no evidence that points to any wrongdoing. So, in theory, he might have used this as an opportunity to kill his wife if he wants to do that. So, alright, fair enough. What about this guy? Any history of actual, murder? 26 years old, current charge, breaking and entering, burglary. So, Jerry Cox has been identified as the burglar who broke into the apartment the night of the murder. His criminal record is colourful and includes car theft, pickpocketing, burglary, and credit card fraud. A high school dropout with no current employment, Munch is well known to the local police as a troublemaker. No mention of any violence, though. So far it's just been, making money. He doesn't really have much reason to shoot her well. Unless, of course, he did come in with a gun, but she just took him by surprise. He panicked diddly-diddly-dee. There's no reason why it might not still be him. So he is the main suspect and has been directly accused of tying down the couple and shooting the wife, possibly impulsively and under stress when she reached for her phone. While circumstantial evidence in her husband's testimony points to Munch as the murderer, it is not sufficient for a conviction. He does not have a past record of violent crime of any sort, but then again, neither does the husband. He's got no record of crime whatsoever. Munch has previously taken plea bargains and can be pressured into doing so again. Right, so that's useful information. That might be what we want to lean on, because now we know, because we've paid attention, he takes plea bargains, and thus he might be very open to that, if it's an option, during the interrogation. Okay, I'm going to say bring them in. We're going to see if I've immediately got a time limit or not. So, is the game being nice, because this is the first case. And, okay, right now, there is no ticking time limit. Good. Good. Now, we also have access to, his pulse rate. So we know whether he's actually afraid. Faster pulse, more afraid of you. And a rough indication of how relaxed your subject is. Wider aperture means they've opened up more to you. So some people, you might want to scare them. Some people, you might want to build a bit of a relationship. And ultimately, the red question, if we can get him to answer that, that'll solve the case. But if you just open with that, probably not going to work. So there's the other guy. And there's this guy. Okay, I want to get his story first, because he says he didn't do it, so what's actually your story here? And let's start off by, just building a bit of a rapport. So let's just talk about you for the time being. So they're speaking calmly right now. No need to mister me around, Chief. You can call me Munch. I'd really rather not. Did you come up with that nickname yourself? Because if someone gave you that, they were really being mean. So, okay. Let's talk about this. This isn't your first crime, is it? So, they tried to control their anger. Why, you want to send me to prison for the old ones again? No. So right now he's a little bit angry, but he's not actually, panicking or relaxed. So, fair enough. This is why you should have stayed in school, Munch. Dear oh dear. So, you've already been convicted once and did your time. Why do it again? So they state with anger in their eyes, I was put in the box for car theft, Chief. I didn't do that again. I don't know what you're talking about. And, okay, to be honest, I thought it wasn't in any way in question that you did the burglary. You may or may not have done the murder, but we know you were doing the burglary. So, okay, repeat offenders are punished much more harshly. Don't worry about that. No. I understand your difficulties, but a woman's dead. I want you to explain. Sure, I'll help you. I didn't do it. Case closed. Okay, so not much we can do there, to be honest. At least not yet. So, okay. Why did you actually return to being a thief? Because, sure, you weren't stealing a car this time, but you were doing burglary. As I said, because no one's going to hire me with a record, and you know that. Okay. I can see where he's coming from there. That's, well, not really fair enough. But, it makes sense. Let's change the topic for now. We don't really seem to be getting anywhere. Because, there's a lot of fairly complicated, long, branching trees here. And you need to find the right answer, or the right question, to be precise, if you want him to open up a bit. Okay, let's talk about the robbery itself. What did you do precisely? I don't get what the fuss is about. It ain't like I got that much out of it. So, Okay, why did you choose this specific house? There wasn't anything special about it. It had a fire escape ladder, the open window, no lights on. Okay, fair enough. Looked like an easy way in. There was a back way in that might have been in like a little back alley or something. Easy point of access without breaking anything. Signs there was nobody home. Though, that's interesting. If the husband was already home, why were the lights off? Well, unless he was in bed. But yeah, let's ask about the lights here. So, I wouldn't have gone in if the lights were on. And he didn't need to break the window because, you know, the window was open. So fire escape ladder was already down. Yeah, it was to look like a circus acrobat to you. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, is that supposed to be the case? I thought those were supposed to be up until they were needed. So, it's possible this guy might have deliberately tried to leave this place looking like a soft target to lure someone inside so he could kill his wife and then pin it on the burglar. It's a bit of a stretch, but it's possible. Okay, so were you aware there were people inside? Presumably not, because, yeah, I don't have cameras in people's toilets like you boys do. So, okay, they were home. Did you actually see them? I bolted back to the ladder before I could see anyone, and... Okay, hang on. Hang on. No, you must have seen somebody, otherwise, why did you run? Except, hang on, yeah, the story the husband is telling is, you actually tied the guy up, but you're saying you didn't even tie that guy up, so... Okay, you didn't just run away, work with me here. Shit, fine, the bedroom was empty, so I jumped in. Okay, so we know he did go in. And now, he's been willing to open up to me a little bit. Yellow option means that's newly unlocked. So, okay, he doesn't respond particularly well to me bringing up his past. He does seem to be responding well to me being nice and understanding. So, if they weren't in the bedroom, when did you notice people? After I jumped in, I heard voices inside the apartment somewhere. Sounded like they were fighting or something. Okay, so according to his story, he was the only one in. The wife came in afterwards, went for the phone. So, if they were together when he was inside, that would suggest this is a lie. So alright, what were they actually fighting about? What do you think I am, man? The CIA? You tell me what they were fighting about. I got my ass out of there as soon as I noticed somebody was in the house. Okay, fair enough. So that seems reasonable. To be honest, that seems reasonable. He went in to a house that was an easy mark, and then he grabbed something, and then left when he heard voices. But then, yeah, in that case, this guy would never have seen anything, unless, of course, the guy didn't need to see anything. But then again, how did he end up tied to the chair? Alright, interesting. So, what did you actually take? First thing I could lay my hands on, throw it in the bag. Didn't notice until later I had a couple of small bushes or trees or something. Sorry, you stole some small bushes or trees without actually realising. Do you mean like little models or figurines or porcelain something, or like bonsai trees? I'll give you one if we can wrap this up. Well, that's very nice of you. Right, interesting. And then you ran away as soon as you realised they were home with a bag full of just, yeah, random stuff. So, okay, he was inside for about 5 minutes. We'll come back to that later. So, let's talk about the murder of Mrs. Peterson. And as I told the officer the rest of me, I don't know anything about that. I'm assuming you didn't know these individuals. Look, the only Peterson I know sells groceries back in the neighbourhood, so no, I don't know the Petersons. Never did. Fair enough. So I'm assuming you don't feel threatened by them because you never saw them. I'm sure they're nice people. I haven't seen them, spoken to them, or even sent them a text. It's a long way of saying no. Fair enough. So, yeah, the gun was found close by to the fire escape. Someone must have dropped it or something. Told you, I know nothing about the murder. Now, it is possible that the husband killed his wife, tossed the gun out of the window and then blamed the guy, but then, hang on. The husband will have known which way the burglar came in and out, because, of course, that was the only room that was robbed. So, reasonable assumption, that's how he came in, that's how he left again, tossed the gun out of there. It'll look, albeit very circumstantially, like it was this guy. Okay, fair enough. So, gun ownership. Can't we actually, like, you know, check that? Isn't there, like, a record or something? I don't know. And he claims he doesn't have a gun and doesn't touch them at all. So, okay, I'm going to try being nice, because that seemed to work last time. So, it's not illegal to own a weapon, Munch. It's fine if you tell me. It'll help your story. So, shit, I know it ain't illegal. My story doesn't need helping, because it's true. I don't touch guns. They're trouble. Okay, interesting. And is that actually everything we've got so far? Not just yet. The husband tied up, and it is presumably relatively tricky to tie yourself up. I've never tied myself up, so I don't know, but I would guess that's actually quite difficult to do. And yeah, he's very angry about that, does not think that's the case. So, nothing more I can say there, and a woman's been shot in the back. That's horrible. Did they have kids? Shit, hope the killer didn't do it in front of the kids. So, okay. I mean, I could say this, but he's not going to be thrilled about it, because his story is blatantly that he didn't do any of this. So, yeah. Let's just see if we can actually, you know, be nice. Just to see. Then again, actually, you know what? It might be time to move on. So, change the topic. Yeah, I've been through some of his options. Let's move over to Mr. Peterson. So, yeah, let's start off with the incident's timeline here. What do you want to know? So, because I've already spoken to Munch, there's some new options that wouldn't have been there previously. And of course, after I've spoken to this guy, there'll be stuff I can actually speak to Munch about. So, did you hear the burglar coming into the house? Let's see what's going on here. Not really. TV volume was quite high. Okay, so when did you first see him? When he entered the living room. Okay, he does seem very calm here as well, that's certainly true. So he entered the living room. Where were you and your wife when you first saw him? So, we were in the living room. Is this relevant? Okay, when did he pull out the gun? And he had the gun out when he burst in. Okay, so now you're starting to be a bit more angry about things. Got it. So the story wasn't that he was alone, then the wife came in afterwards. The story is, yeah, they were actually both in there, in the living room, together. So, why did he tie you down? Guess he was scared I would try and fight him off. But okay, what about the wife? Why not tie her up as well? Yes, he was telling her to sit down. When she darted towards the phone, that's when he shot her. So they were both sitting in the living room, according to his story. Robert comes in with the gun already out, ties him up, at which point, when she's about to be tied up, she jumps for the phone, he shoots her, and flees. Okay, so that's interesting. So how did you react when you saw the gun? I put my hands up, of course. I told him he could take whatever he wanted, as long as he didn't hurt us. Okay, interesting. So I'm guessing based on your story so far and your composure in general, you didn't provoke him or threaten him in any way whatsoever. I didn't, but even if I did, he's still a murderer. Don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay, we're getting a bit of a reaction here, One more thing I can do, by the way, is there's a tape player here. If I want to, I can turn it off. Now, obviously, going off the record starts to unnerve people. So, if I want to frighten them, that's an option available to me. So I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. Back to where we were, please. And one more here. Munch says he doesn't own a gun. There's no evidence tying one to him. He's clearly lying, or perhaps he stole mine. I keep it in the bedroom. Okay, that's interesting. So, you are admitting you do have a gun and he doesn't. Then again, once again, that's not really a crime, so there's nothing there I can hold against anybody. Alright, back to where we were, and you said you own a gun. Apparently, you're not registered as a gun owner. Okay, the state doesn't say I need to register. I bought it at Fanfare. What about it? Okay, interesting. So, yeah, well, he doesn't actually have a reason to use it in self-defense, or rather, he didn't have the opportunity. According to his story, the guy already had a gun out when he was in the living room, guns in the bedroom. So, okay, why wouldn't you have mentioned this before? Then again, that's not really... It's not dubious. That's not really dubious at all. But yeah, I'm guessing you didn't use it because wrong room. I couldn't reach it in time. I was even waiting for an opportunity to test my aim on filth like him. Okay, so you were prepared for this, in some ways. Crosses his arms defensively, seeing how dangerous this city is nowadays, criminals running loose while the police force is too corrupt to do anything about it, you have to be ready to take matters into your own hands. No offence. Okay, so understand your concern. Most people don't have the stomach to shoot, even in self-defense. Do you think you would have been able to? And most people don't wish they had an opportunity to test their aim on a human being, Peterson. What if you'd killed him? Okay, what's he going to do here? Let's start off with this one. See where that goes. Yes, when the system doesn't protect you, you have to do it yourself. If we had an armed neighbourhood watch, filth like that burglar wouldn't have dared to step on our streets. Okay, can I go through the loop again and ask him the other question? No, when you get to an option like that, you can't always loop round. Fair enough. But, yeah, right now he's looking relaxed. Wider aperture. So he's feeling pretty chill at the minute, despite the whole anger thing at this exact moment in time. But that has opened up, yeah, one new thing. You have some fairly harsh views. Do you think this burglar deserves to die? Hell yes, with some people, there's no alternative. You have to take things into your own hands and get tough. Only way this world will ever be a better place is if honest people stand up, with force, if necessary. Okay, I think we're getting a bit off track here. But now I've got him monologuing. There's many of us out there who think like this. We found each other online, like-minded people willing to take up the responsibility and do the right thing. Okay, let's just see what's going on here. Politics is their game. If we play by their rules, we lose because it's a rigged game. We need to short-circuit the whole system, shake up the entire establishment. Okay, I was only going to arrest you for murdering your wife, but you appear to be suddenly spiraling into a conspiracy to take down the whole of society. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't have the rights to the chat room where things are organised, but it will certainly be big. Okay, so he's part of possibly a terrorist group of some description. I don't bloody know. So you need to show some commitment beforehand and to be part of the group for a while. I asked for access. I'm sure I'll get it soon. So, who does have access? Okay, we should really be getting back to the murder, but whatever. And here we go. Chat rooms are anonymous. We know each other by IDs. Mostly veterans, people that have been involved for a long time. They assign a mentor to new people. Mine is Horn Bunny 49. Silly name, I know. It is rather. Between Horn Money and Munch Cox, yes, there's a lot of vaguely smutty names going on here. And here we go. We've got a name. The Liberation Front. So, what's going on here? No one voted on it or anything. It's just what we call it. Okay, so that may or may not be relevant to this case, but I'm guessing that's going to be more important going forward. If you want some links to the forums, I'll give them to you after we're done here. Okay, so I'm guessing that's going to be the next case. Here we go. Let's move on to his wife here. So, yes indeed, the online friends, the Liberation Front. She did not approve. It gave her another reason to criticise me. All those arguments. Okay, we might be on something here. This guy's clearly a real true believer in this online society he's found, and his wife really, really didn't like them. Okay, so yeah, how was your marriage in general? We've been married for almost 7 years now. It's had its ups and downs as you would expect. So, okay, interesting. Where do we want to actually go with this? So, yeah, argument on the night of the attack. Let's see where that goes. We weren't on best terms. We have been fighting quite often about the most stupid things. You know how it goes. I guess both of us thought we'd settle it when the time was right. So, okay. Yeah, frequent disagreements, potentially. Yes, many fights started with her criticising me, especially about not having a job. She blamed me for it constantly, as if the current state of the job market didn't matter one bit. Okay. So you weren't working, you were spending a lot of time with some weirdos online. Got it. So obviously on this occasion there's no time limit, so if I wanted to I could go through literally every single one of these options one by one, but sometimes there'll be a time limit. You'll need to prioritise and figure out which questions are going to be more important than others. It's a cool little system, I do like it. Asking about her job. Yeah, she took great care to make everyone love her there. I think that's why her boss didn't fire her, like mine did. In this economy, hard work and skills are not enough. It's all politics. Yeah. He's really, really, really not keen on the current system. So much so that he's talking about, yeah, potentially revolutionary actions with some folks online. Okay, he's starting to get annoyed here. The bastard that broke into our home didn't know either of us. Yeah, let's just start confronting him with a bit of reason here. So, burglars wouldn't normally, you know, go tying people up, murdering people, diddly-diddly-dee. Normally abandon their attempt if there are people at home. And also, why were the lights off? Why were the lights off? That is odd. It's very, very odd indeed. These sorts of people don't think straight. They just can't. Too dumb for it. Okay, a bit of an evasive answer. Ah, new option at the bottom though. So, we're starting to put together bits of information here. You and your wife were arguing often, and she blamed you for getting fired. Yes, she was relentless about it, mostly blamed me for it, wouldn't believe me that my boss was a bastard, that he had it in for me. Women like her always think they know everything. Okay, we can't push exactly what he means by that, but yeah, were you fighting on the night of the break-in? Actually, yes, that's what started it that night as well. It was a common thing for us. Okay, so that's starting to, yeah, stack up with his story. He heard that argument, so okay, let's see if we can get him to open up, because he's not scared, but if we look over here, wider aperture. Let's see if we can just sort of pretend to take his side a bit. So, must have been so frustrating, her just pestering you. Yes, I guess it was. I just had enough, you know. You've been with someone for 7 years, you expect some respect by that point, some consideration. But no, she can be such a shrew sometimes, I'm telling you. Okay, so you didn't really like her that much at all, did you? I did, yes. I'm not happy she died, but I can't help but feel relief that she won't be blaming me for all the things that went wrong. Okay, hardly a confession, but we're starting to get somewhere and he's starting to trust me. Okay, we've got some information out of him. Let's see what we can learn here. So, yes indeed, the Liberation Front. Have you actually heard of that? That a gang or something? Never heard of them. Must be new. Fair enough, so nothing much there. So let's get into a bit more detail with him. What were you doing that night before it all happened? Fighting, as I told you. We were supposed to go out for dinner, but she came home from work late. I was annoyed by this. Started with a few ironic jabs, but quickly escalated and we argued for an hour, I think. So, yes indeed, here we go. The lights. This is important right here. Were the doors locked? Were the lights on? So, yes, the doors were locked. The lights were on in the living room. Okay, interesting. So, that doesn't match up with what we were hearing at all. So it would be clear to anyone from the outside that someone was in the house, but the burglar actually came in anyway. Yes, that murderous piece of trash knew we were here. Okay, interesting. And Mr. Cox says the lights were off. And who will you believe? Me or a criminal? Okay, maybe I should have gone for the other option there to try and get further in with this guy, because he's starting to trust me. Okay, let's consider this here. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever why the burglar would have come in specifically to murder them. The plan, according to this guy, is burglar comes in, starts stealing some stuff, goes into the front room, wants to tie them up, only shoots the woman in a panic when she goes for the phone. There's no reason the burglar would have come in just to cause trouble. So, if the lights were on, well, he could have just come in to rob the place with the lights on, but that's a stupid move that doesn't make a huge amount of sense. Okay, so, we got ourselves this guy who's starting to trust me a bit, but he's not that scared. This guy, however, is starting to be a bit more panicked, but he's not opening up to me at all. So, how about we just see if we can intimidate him a bit? So let's just turn off the machine. Alright, so look me in the eye and say it. Maybe you'd rather tell the wall, or, yeah, zap him a bit. Let's just grab him a bit, see if we can just, you know, make him a bit scared. So, he breathes heavily and looks startled and displeased. Okay. Tape machine goes back on here. He's starting to look unhappy. And there's nothing more I can actually ask him, so I'm going to confront him with the big question now. See if I can scare him into giving me an answer. So, I know where this is going. Regardless of what you believe I did, Chief, you got nothing on me because I didn't kill anybody. Okay, so nothing too useful there. As for you, Daryl, I feel like we've got a bit of an opening with you. You are calm, you're starting to like me, and we've definitely established you kind of hated your wife. So, what do you mean? That damn burglar, who do you think killed her? And you resent her, and yeah, hate, in fact. So, I did hate her, yes. I hated her arrogance, I hated her friends, I hated her flipping bonsai trees, I hated the disrespect she had for me. That doesn't mean I would ever hurt her. Okay, but, absolutely, you had an argument that night. And you also had the opportunity to blame it on a burglar who you spotted come in, or maybe realised you were robbed afterwards. And, what? How? I mean, okay, so, yep, he did it. Right, what do we need to do here? Ah, but we've got some good stuff going on here. Based on what I now know about the actual Liberation Front or whatever, yeah, potentially if you don't confess, I can make sure you're convicted for terrorist intent. Now, that's something good to throw in his face. So, because we know about that, that opens up an option that seems fairly convincing, I would say. So, alternatively, you see violence as a solution, you talk with your friends online about it, you add the means and the motive. That's not actually that compelling. Now this is interesting. Let's see if he's willing to go for it. Then again, hang on. If he really hates the system, he might be proud about terrorist intent. He might actually clam up, but we'll give it a go. Is that your idea of justice? I admit I killed her. She had it coming, as do many others, such as you, and the corrupt system that puts people like you in positions of power. Your time will come, pig! Right, okay, so, we've got ourselves an answer. Time to report our findings, and it was definitely this guy. But, had I screwed up, potentially, yeah, we wouldn't know who did it. We might just have to sort of guess. So, alright, Liberation Front business, potentially about to become a problem. Oh, this is fun. I have to write a press release. So, okay, what are we going to be doing here? All evidence pertaining to the case has been directed to the relevant authorities with the full cooperation of the Council of the STPD Prosecutor Councillor. So they will be treated following judicial procedure, or the criminals have been incarcerated. Okay, so I can choose which way I'm going to go. Interesting. And we're going to do this all proper professional-like. So, Daryl Peterson, not initially a suspect, or Daryl Peterson, the main suspect, or the victim's husband. Yeah, victim's husband. That's the most factual way of saying this. And will the police be advancing charges of voluntary manslaughter or first-degree murder? Ooh. I mean, do we really know? I mean, hang on, what's voluntary manslaughter like precisely? I don't actually know. I mean, from what we were discussing, it sounded like there was some type of premeditation, so I'm going to say first-degree murder. And either we keep investigating Jerry Cox, or we say no violent intent, no connection to the murder. Yes, that's factually true. Also, we shouldn't really trouble him more, because with the name Jerry Munch Cox, yeah, he's got enough problems in his life without being further hassled by the police. Ah, but I did, of course, very briefly stop the tape, and the chief of police is a bit suspicious about that. No idea why there would be a gap. Technical problems. Best not to record me punching the suspect. Oh, technical problem. Very unfortunate. So Cox is telling people that you hurt him. Any accusation they make about being hurt becomes more credible when there are gaps in the recording. Be really careful about that. Okay, so not a big deal so far, but keep it in mind. And now I have to pick an old memory. Okay, so I'm guessing this is like, what, a perk or something? You have mastered the art of threats and silence to cow your subjects. Okay, alternatively, you always follow procedure and are known for it. Subjects have more empathy towards you, but you have trouble frightening them. Okay, this is cool. So this is, yeah, literally a perk. Alternatively, I can tell precisely how scared or not they are, things like that. Speed Demon, you have more time to interrogate, but can't access files during or before interrogations. So, okay, interesting. That's That's kind of good. Probably I should actually, read the files. Or, Scholar of Ideology. You have keenly studied extremist ideology and may use that knowledge when talking to people with radical convictions. Okay, interesting. How about we go for, Profiler. That seems good, so I'll be able to see precisely how happy or not people are. So, the following day, and would you believe it, the Liberation Front has been coming into the city, so we need to figure out what's going on. Okay, so, Tabby Thompson, analyst extraordinaire and a very, very good cat, absolutely marvellous. And Jennifer Reyes from Organised Crime, delighted detective, lovely to meet you too. And, of course, Mordecai Fisher, who we pulled from... Oh, I thought I was Mordecai Fisher. Aren't I Mordecai Fisher? So, apparently we've got a bit of live action to investigate here. Morty's out there with some badgers grabbing our 3 suspects for who that Horn Bunny might be. We need to figure out who this guy's mentor is, because the mentor is presumably more senior inside the organisation, because you wouldn't give someone junior the task of mentoring someone who's been in longer than them. So, alright, we need to find out who Horn Bunny is. Okay, hang on. Mordecai, or Morty Fisher, has been sent out to grab some people. It turns out I'm not Mordecai, I'm just me. Hello, I'm John, Master Police Person. But they're onto us. Tabby's just let me know it's only a matter of minutes before the current passwords become useless. We need new ones as soon as possible. They're here, get ready to interrogate them, we'll line up the files. Okay, so now we've got a bunch of people and it sounds like we're gonna have ourselves a time limit. We need to get hold of a password in a hurry. So they've been hiding inside a server dedicated to pet care. Fair enough. So there's been traffic spikes to one of the special access private rooms. So they're chatting somewhere which wouldn't look suspicious. Gotcha. We've managed to find a username that has special permissions to access the most private channels in this chat room, HornBunny49. We need the password. One of these 3 individuals may be Horn Bunny. Do we know that for certain though? No, we do. Okay, using IPs, it's one of 3 individuals, but none of them will admit it. Good. Good. We have only minutes to find the password that gives us access. Okay, so tough times, and I don't know who any of these people actually are, so we need to figure out if any of these people look more likely to be intimidated. So, Diana O'Donnell, aged 24, so very young indeed, gotcha. Diana is what's called an alternative model, doing modelling work as well as the occasional acting job under the stage name Sabina Jones. She dropped out of medical school and was a nightclub entertainer in the past. Several of her known associates have been suspected of or charged with narcotics-related offences. She hosts a blog that regularly critiques modern lifestyle trends. Fair enough. And Cartoon Rabbit on the back. Okay, Horn Bunny. So, alternative model, may or may not have been involved in some form of kink or sex work at some point, and the rabbit on the back. Okay, Horn Bunny seems like potentially a good match for this individual. Then again, why Horn Bunny 49? She's not 49 years old, she definitely wasn't born in 1949, because I don't know if we know what year this was set in, but we do know a cell phone was mentioned, so it can't be long enough back that someone born in 49 could only be 24 years old. That doesn't check out. So, suspect number 2. Michael Lemon, one of the IPs that might have belonged to this individual. So Michael works as a pet stylist for a boarding kennel and a salon that he co-owns. Humanities graduate, loves underground theatre, card-carrying member of the Democracy Party. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm suspicious that he was just in the pet care community because he wanted to care for pets. I suspect he's not going to be the one. And finally, Fred Ennis, 49 years old. Okay, so that's definitely of interest. Fred works as a risk analyst for a major bank. Thrice divorced, he practices airsoft and plays field tennis. He is repeatedly threatened to sue us while we're holding him for questioning. Okay, so odd that he'd want to bring down society. He's doing pretty damn well out of society. So, I mean, the 49 could just be a coincidence. I'd say we want to start off with Diana O'Donnell and then go over to this guy as an option. I'm not sure, but maybe ignore this guy. And when you say we've got minutes, oh, we might really only have minutes. Okay, let's flip and do it. 7 minutes. Okay, so Diana. Here we go. Tattoo of a rabbit. So, no connection, no. Okay, fair enough. What do you think of the actual front? They're inconsistent in the ideology, arguing for taking lives is never acceptable, regardless of your cause. Okay, what about the chat room? And, fine, do you have any pets? Because you're in a pet care chat room. And why would that be? We need to do this very fast. It's research for my blog. And, yes indeed, Howie, oh, you don't trust me at all. Well, I have brought you in. Okay, so, yeah, you're critical of our society. You could be Liberation Front. And shifting uncomfortably. Okay, interesting. She just reacted suspiciously. What are you actually writing about right now? So, police brutality. Okay, maybe beat her up in a minute, but not just yet. Notice anything peculiar? So I wasn't observing anyone. It's just a chat room. Okay, let's move over to him. See what we've got here. So, you're 49. Can we actually, build any form of rapport here? Very discontent. Yeah, he is threatening to sue us. So, sorry about that. Let's see if we can get him to open up here. So, this is saying 1. I'm guessing that means good. I would have preferred that excuse from them. How are you holding up, Mr. Ennis? Let's just get this over with. And do you know these individuals? Don't know either of them. And yeah, let's talk about your age. So 49, same as my father. And grew up back in the day. You must be an Oak Scout. This is not good. Okay, Horn Bunny 49. Why would I be so stupid if I were a terrorist under a code name that I will put my age in the username? Also, it would only be good for like 1 year. Would not be that good at all. So, okay, let's move back here. This is, pet care chat room. Why were you actually in there? Do you have pets? Muggy, my cat, he's my entire life. So, must be lovely to have a cat. It is, I love my tabs. I'm not lonely, you just can't rely on humans the same way, you know. So, okay, let's just quickly check this guy. 5.5 minutes to go at this point. So, what do you think of these guys? I admire their fiery spirits. Okay, I'm kind of surprised about that. Let's talk about the pet care thing. Wonderful topic. Please go ahead. So, conversations. Do you have pets of your own? Do you just want to talk about pet fashion? And my aunt has a darling chihuahua named Botox. And the chat room helps to inform my work. 'Tis the fate of the pet stylist. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I feel like he was just there for pet tips. Let's move back over to her here. Back to where we were. So, question about the conversations in that room. So, what types of conversations were going on in the chat room? Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure. Pet stuff, shockingly enough. So, how did you get into the chat room? Struck it some secret bunker. Friend told me about it. Why are you into this? Oh, she's getting scared. 5 minutes and... Also, hang on. Why is that holding at 5 minutes? That's odd. I've kind of thought that would, tick down. Because that was kind of the point, wasn't it? Okay, you know what? I'm not going to say no. What else do we need about you? You know what? I'm going to go for it with her. We're going to see what we can do. See if we can just intimidate her. Because, yeah, she is getting towards scared. Let's just pause the tape and talk to the wall. There we go. We're going to do that police thing where we, pin you against the wall. She's up to really, really damn scared. But don't get her too scared because she might panic. Okay, get the tape back on. What's the password, Diana? Pretty sure what you're doing is illegal. I don't actually care. I probably should care. Uh-oh. And, oh. Okay, now time is going down. Why has time just gone down? I don't understand how time works. Okay, back over to this guy. Liberation Front. So I see their points. The world really isn't what it should be. Possibly this isn't real time. This might be 5 seconds every new answer. Is that what's going on here? Is it 5 seconds every new answer? So, the world isn't what it should be. And let's see if we can get him to open up a bit here. Yes, it's 5 seconds per answer. I know, brother. Ooh. Okay. We're making some progress with this guy. Admittedly, I did kind of slam you into a wall. Oh, yeah, she's actually a blogger who writes about police brutality, and I just slammed her into a wall. Did I remember to turn the tape off while I was doing that? Oh, I really hope I did. Right, so 5 seconds per answer. That's how that works. Okay, that's good. That means I don't have to read in such a panic. I like that. That's great. So do you think the Liberation Front will take violent action? And I don't know. Sometimes you've got to take desperate measures, you know. Okay, this is interesting. We need to get this guy to open up. I feel like I might be getting something here. And though he's right about the password being stupid, I mean, he's my best bet. He's my best bet here. So, how are you holding up? Let's just get this over with. Yeah, let's talk some more about the pet chat room. And the conversations there. Yeah, the nicknames. So, do you know who Horn Bunny 49 is? So, I've never seen him around. No. Come on. We're up to +3 in trusting me. So, let's see if we can get him to... Ooh! Okay, right! It's me! I'm Horn Bunny 49. What about it? Okay, he apparently is stupid enough to have put his age in that. I am so sorry. I am really sorry about the slamming you into a wall thing. That was a mistake. So go on, why didn't you just tell me when I asked you up front here? I'm sorry, I just didn't know if I could trust you. I apologise. Okay, apparently he now trusts me just about enough. So, do we need to speak about anything else first? Okay, we know you've got access to a special room. Yes, I do. So what? Just a private chat room. There are millions like it out there. So, you're actually perfectly willing to... No, that's just repeating the information we've got. Don't waste the time. Okay, so, we've got the information there. We've got the information. Now that we know we don't need to bother interviewing these two, we can take our time to build more of a rapport. So let's talk about your cat. Yes, Muggy, my fluffy love ball. And... do I need to ask anything else? No, I don't need to ask anything else about the cat. Right, so. Do we need to talk more about this special room immediately? Or have we got anything else here? We've already asked him about that. Yeah. Let's talk about this special room now. So, why do you care so much about it? Who else has access to it? Or no, why the need for such privacy? Sometimes you just need a safe space to vent your ideas. Okay, who else has access? Friends of mine, like-minded people, animal lovers. No one you would know. Okay, I mean, it's going to be really embarrassing after all this, especially abusing the police brutality blogger if it turns out the private room is just for pets. That's certainly true. Any chance anyone else is in the room? Don't know who that is. What about this guy? Honestly, I have no idea who you're talking about. Okay, what about Daryl Peterson? Listen, we didn't use real names. He might have been for all I know. Okay, so that was a bit of a waste of time right there, because of course he wouldn't know even if he did know these people. So, the special room, the Liberation Front, and there we go, up to +4. So because I've been nice to this guy, and not slammed his face in the wall, he's willing to talk to me. Yes, front people meet there, doesn't mean it's something illegal. That's true, it isn't illegal, he's not wrong. Okay, we're up to +4 on the reputation. I think it's time to get the password. Okay, I'm sorry, that's something I do not have a legal obligation to tell you. Okay, we need to get him up to +5. Or scare him. The thing is, what else do we have here? Here we go. Now we know about the Liberation Front. Tell me, what's your role in it? Up to +5. It's not like that, we're just getting to know each other. Alright, so do you know any other members at all? Only the people in the private chat, and I don't know if all of them are with the front. Alright, what are they planning next? Getting the word out, of course. Okay, so he doesn't really seem to acknowledge, or at least he's not willing to admit to, the possibility of violence. Yet. Okay, I'm up to +5 with you. Come on, there we go. I think what the Liberation Front is doing is right. I won't betray them. Oh, yes, you will. Yes, you flipping will. And, yeah, if we've been going down the scare him route, if he was really scared right now, that'd be the right option. But, because we've actually built a rapport with him, that's going to be the right option. So, they're going to hurt innocent people, and then their dogs will be sad because their humans will have been taken away. You don't want that, do you, Fred? And, alright, here's the password. 2 minutes and 50 seconds spare. Boom. Hey boss, I wanted to talk to you about the interview tapes real quick. Yes, I know I did technically pick a reporter up and toss her into a wall. That's true. That's a thing I did do. I don't want to be nagged about it. Okay, this just got a lot more complicated. So obviously we've still got interviews as the bread and butter, but yeah, there's something else going on too. Various things that I could tell my team to do. The cop, Mordecai, the good cat and also sort of hacker or something, Tabby, and Jennifer, something to do with organised crime. So I can tell them to get on with various jobs. Some of them are good at certain jobs, some of them are not so good. So Tabby, for example, very good at going home early. It's not wrong, Tabby is very good at just going and sleeping. That's definitely true. So by the book, writing up detailed reports, gets permits, confirmations, diddly-diddly-dee. Tabby can do that. Go into the field, try and track down the origin of the murder weapon, go to people whose pet shops have advertisements for pet products, see if they have any information. That seems a bit of a long shot. Work with the DA. Fine, these are various things people can do that may or may not turn up leads. So I'm going to say that Jennifer should focus on chat room analysis, because apparently she's very, very good at that. So, is that what we're going to be pinning you right now? Yes, that'll do for the time being. As for my actual beat cop, yeah, what does Go Home Early actually do? Oh, nothing. They just don't do anything. They're just a bit chilled out. Got it. You, my good man, can go and do some work with the DA. And as for Tabby, yeah, you go and work on the budget. So next month, we've got ourselves a bit of extra money. Marvellous, because $2,000 every month. Order an HR report, so comprehensive evaluation of the agents, giving us an exact assessment of their morale level. Aha, that's what Go Home Early is going to be. If I disagree with them or do things they don't like, their morale's going to fall, they'll need to be given a day off. Got it. And if I start roughing people up too much, I can pay for some PR assistance in order to make the problems go away. Good. Good, good, good. And if I tell my guys to do some overtime, then potentially they'll gain access to newly confiscated resources. Go on then. We can do some of that, though I can turn it off again if I want to. Team building! Oh, go out for drinks. Lovely. So, overtime. Community outreach program. So, okay. Allows teens to gain a better understanding of police work, maybe even get an interest in law enforcement. I'm guessing we might get some new cops, potentially. And, informer stimulants. Okay. What are we doing with the... That seems like a bad thing. Whatever that is, it sounds really illegal. Don't do that. Instead, get some training for my cops. That's lovely. And maybe see if we can get ourselves a brand new cop coming in. Some new punk kid who wants to join the police. Hooray! So, let's see how everything's gone here. Focus on chat room analysis. We understand how they work better. Blackmailing and pressuring non-members is one of their methods, so we might want to inquire about that in interrogation. So, because I asked her to do that, I'm now going to have a new yellow option going forward. This guy went to work with the DA, no charge we can bring, but did manage to get a bit of a guilt trip off, so we've got a tiny bit of extra money going forward. And more funds too, so we're going to have plenty of money next month. Everybody succeeded. Lovely. Unfortunately, I'm getting less and less popular because I'm beating up bloggers for no well-explained reason. The press are not 100% keen on me, though the authorities do like me because I'm succeeding. I'm getting results, but we might need to invest in, getting my popularity up a bit. Oh, and we've got a proper detective wall too. Oh, this is lovely. We've actually got ourselves a proper little thing of clippings and people and evidence and linking them together. Oh, I like a good detective wall. And obviously, we could move straight on to the next investigation, the next interrogation, all of that good stuff. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the point. This here is Interrogation. You will be deceived. And I'm impressed, actually. I'm really, really damn impressed. I mean, I went into this thinking it was going to be something I liked because I like a little thinky, investigatey, catch people in their liesy sort of a thing. But this is really cool and it's a lot more in-depth than I was expecting with the budgeting and reputation and people management and all that good stuff. And yeah, what you do actually between investigations, opening up or closing off options you might be able to use going forward. There's a lot here I like, actually. This is really, really rather interesting. So, link in the description below in case you want to check it out yourself, because this one's well worth a look-see, actually. I am very pleasantly surprised. Very, very interesting indeed. We might well see it again. Could make a good live stream. I'll keep an eye on how the video does. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nerd, and this has been Interrogation. You will be deceived. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Wait, did people just vote out democracy? Hang on, what have you just done? Oh, go on, let's have the greatest Oktoberfest ever. Yay! Spain and Russia have announced a new alliance as a result of the warmongering of certain Central European countries. Oh, well, excuse me! My leader from now on, no weaklings will stand in the way of this country's path to glory. Oh, God, Germany, not again!